I'm 72 years old, and I wasted 50 years of my life learning things that should have taken me 5 minutes. I'm not proud of that. These aren't complicated ideas. That's the thing that gets me. These are simple lessons, the kind of things your grandmother probably tried to tell you. But I'm going to share these lessons with you today because maybe, just maybe, you won't have to make the same mistakes I did. But I was too busy, too distracted, too convinced I knew better. So I learned them the hard way, and the hard way cost me decades. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, moved to Chicago when I was 23 for a job, spent the next 30 years climbing, pushing, grinding, and at 50 something happened that stopped me cold. I'll tell you about it, but first you need to understand where I was coming from. My mother called me every Sunday for 26 years, every single Sunday. It didn't matter if I was busy, it didn't matter if I was tired. That phone would ring at 2 in the afternoon. And you know what I did? I rushed her off the phone. Yeah, Mom, I'm good. Work's fine. Kids are fine. Hey, I gotta go. There's something I need to take care of. But I remember the way her voice would get quieter when I said I had to go. That little pause before she'd say, "Okay, sweetheart, talk next week." In 1997, those calls stopped. She had a stroke on a Thursday morning, gone by Friday night, and I sat at her funeral thinking about all those Sundays, all those calls I cut short, all the times I could have just listened to her talk about her garden or the neighbor's dog or whatever small thing was making her happy that week. I had time. I just didn't give it to her. After she passed, I found a box in her closet. She'd saved every card I ever sent her. Birthday cards, Mother's Day cards, a few random notes. There were maybe 15 total, 15 cards in 26 years, and she'd kept every single one like they were precious. The people who love you aren't asking for much. A phone call, a visit, your attention for a few minutes. And they won't tell you they're hurt when you don't give it. They'll just keep waiting until one day they can't wait anymore. I treated my body like it was separate from me, like it was just this thing that carried my brain around to meetings. I ate whatever was fast, slept 4 or 5 hours a night, sat at a desk for 12 hours a day, never exercised beyond walking to my car. At 48, I went to the doctor for a routine checkup, first one in maybe 6 years. He looked at my numbers and said, "Frank, if you keep living like this, you won't see 60. I laughed. I actually laughed. I was 48. 60 felt like a lifetime away. 2 years later, I collapsed in my driveway. My wife found me on the concrete, gray-faced, barely breathing. The doctors called it a warning. My heart was telling me something I'd been ignoring for decades. I spent 3 weeks in recovery thinking about all the ways I'd abused this body, all the sleep I didn't get, all the stress I let pile up, all the warning signs I ignored because I was too busy being productive. Your body doesn't forget. It keeps a record of every bad meal, every skipped night of rest, every hour of tension you carry in your shoulders. And one day it presents you with the bill. You don't get to negotiate. I'm 72 now, and I walk every morning. I eat vegetables. I sleep 8 hours. Simple stuff. The stuff I should have been doing all along. But I had to almost die to figure that out. I made good money, really good money by the time I was 45. Corner office, company car, the whole thing. And I kept chasing more because that's what you do, right? You hit one number, you aim for the next one. My son played baseball in high school. He was good too. Pitcher, left-handed. Coaches said he had real talent. He played for 4 years, probably 100 games total. You know how many I went to? Maybe 12. I was always working, always had a meeting, a deadline, something that felt urgent. He's 46 now, has kids of his own, and a few years ago we were sitting on his porch and he said something that broke my heart. He said, "Dad, I used to look up in the stands every game just to see if maybe you'd surprise me and showed up. Every game. He looked for me every game. I had the money to give him everything. Nice house, good schools, a car when he turned 16. But what he wanted was me in those stands, and I wasn't there. Money is useful. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. It pays for medicine and keeps a roof over your head and lets you help people you love. But it can't replace you. It can't sit in the stands at your kid's baseball game. It can't hold your wife's hand when she's scared. It can't show up. The things that matter most don't cost anything. They cost time. They cost presence. And those are the things I was too foolish to spend. I had a brother, Ray. We had a falling out in 1982 over something so stupid I can barely remember it now. Our father's estate. Who got what? Money again. Always money. We said things we couldn't take back. And then we just stopped talking. 23 years. 23 years of silence. Same family reunions. Wouldn't look at each other. Same holidays. Sat on opposite sides of the room. Our mother's funeral. We stood 6 feet apart and didn't say a word. I told myself I was right. I told myself he owed me an apology. I held on to that anger like it was something valuable, like it was protecting me somehow. In 2005, Ray got diagnosed with cancer, pancreatic, the bad kind. His wife called me, said he didn't have long, and I sat with that phone in my hand for 3 days, still angry, still stubborn. Finally, my wife looked at me and said, "Frank, if he dies and you haven't made peace, you'll carry that for the rest of your life." So I went, drove 4 hours to the hospital, walked into his room, and there he was, thin as paper, barely able to lift his head. And you know what he said? He said, "I'm sorry, Frank, I'm so sorry." He apologized to me. After 23 years of me refusing to bend, he was the one who said sorry first. I held his hand and cried. We talked for 2 hours, laughed about things from when we were kids. He died 11 days later, and I thank God I had those 2 hours. But I'll never get back the 23 years I threw away. Anger feels powerful. It feels like armor, but it's not protecting you. It's just keeping out the people you love. I always had a list of things I was going to do someday. Learn to play guitar, go to Italy, write down my father's war stories before they were lost, spend a summer teaching my grandkids to fish someday when I have more time, when things settle down, when the conditions are right. Here's what I learned. The conditions are never right. There's always a reason to wait. Work is busy, money is tight, the kids need something, your back hurts. There is always an excuse if you're looking for one. My father died in 1989. I never wrote down his stories. He was in the Korean War, saw things he'd only talk about late at night when it was just the two of us, and I always thought I'd get them down on paper someday, record them somehow, pass them on. Now they're gone. Whatever he saw, whatever he survived, whatever wisdom he earned from those years, it's gone because I waited for a better time. I did finally get to Italy. I was 64. My wife and I spent 2 weeks there, and every single day I thought, why did I wait so long? Why did I put this off for 40 years? There's no perfect moment. There's only now. And now becomes yesterday faster than you think. I used to argue about everything, politics, sports, how to load a dishwasher. I needed to be right, needed to prove my point, needed the last word. You know what being right got me? A lot of quiet dinners. A wife who stopped sharing her opinions because I'd just argue with them. Kids who learned not to bring up certain topics around Dad. There was this one Thanksgiving. Must have been 2001 or 2002. My daughter brought her boyfriend home for the first time. Nice kid, nervous, and he said something about politics that I disagreed with, so I corrected him in front of everyone. Went on for 10 minutes about why he was wrong. The table got quiet. My daughter looked at me with this expression I'll never forget. Not angry, disappointed. She said, "Dad, he was just making conversation." I won that argument, and I lost something much more valuable. She didn't bring him around much after that. They broke up eventually for other reasons, but I always wondered if I'd made him feel unwelcome in our home. Being kind doesn't mean you don't have opinions. It means you know when to share them and when to just let people be. It means choosing connection over being right. I'm 72. Doctors say I might have another decade, maybe more if I'm fortunate. And I spend a lot of those days thinking about the 50 years I wasted learning what I could have known all along. Call the people you love, take care of your body, show up for the moments that matter, let go of the anger you're carrying, stop waiting for someday, and be kind even when you could be right instead. These aren't complicated lessons. A child could understand them, but I had to live 72 years and nearly die twice to finally get it through my thick skull. You're watching this video, which means you've got time. More time than you think, probably, but also less than you hope. Don't waste it the way I did. Don't spend 50 years figuring out what matters when I'm telling you right now. If any of this meant something to you, share it with someone you care about. Leave a comment. Tell me which lesson hit you the hardest. Subscribe if you want to hear more from people who've lived long enough to learn a few things. I'm not going to be around forever. None of us are. But maybe something I said today will stick with you. Maybe you'll call your mother this week. Maybe you'll put down the work and go to your kid's game. Maybe you'll let go of a grudge that's been poisoning you for years. That's all I'm hoping for. That's enough. The clock's ticking. It always has been. So what happens next? That's up to you.